What's going on, guys? Andrew Hayes here, back with another review, and today I'm reviewing Venom, which is directed by Ruben Fleischer. It stars Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock slash Venom, and also stars Michelle Williams, Riz Ahmed, and Jenny Slate, and is about Eddie Brock, who is a journalist, tries to take down Carlton Drake, who is the founder of Life Foundation, and while investigating the experiments that have been going on, he merges with this alien life form known as a symbiote, who is ultimately Venom, and he now has these newfound powers. Now, was I excited for this movie? Absolutely not. I thought the trailers were pretty bad, and there was just nothing to really excite me for this movie. Sony does not have a very good track record when it comes to superhero films, and I just couldn't get excited for this movie. I thought the trailers were pretty bad, and this was honestly probably on my least anticipated of the year list. And despite the fact that I wasn't really looking forward to this movie, I was still going into it with an open mind and hoping that it would be good because I like Venom and Carnage and all the symbiotes, and I like that story. But unfortunately, it just wasn't good. It was actually pretty bad. and it was very messy, but I do have a couple things that I actually liked about it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I do have some things that I do like about it, and one of those things is the actual character of Venom. I'm not talking about Eddie Brock, I'm talking about Venom. I like his voice, I like his look was pretty cool, and I just overall think that Venom was done very well, and I do like the banter between Venom and Eddie Brock. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, Eddie would question something, and Venom would just say something really like witty back, and I thought that was done pretty well. And I just like the banter between the two because it can get pretty funny. I also like the post-credits scene a lot. I don't want to get too much into it right now because it is kind of a spoiler, and I just don't want to spoil it, but I will, at the end of the video, after my grade, I will talk a little bit more about that. So, those are my positives. Yeah, not that many. As for my negatives, the worst thing about this movie is the writing. It is written very poorly. It is very lazy writing. And obviously there's no effort that was put into this writing, and that's very upsetting to me because this should have been a good movie. This just wasn't. Also, the editing can get really messy at times. There were quite a few time jumps, and that just, I don't think, really worked well for the story. I think it just kind of halted made the story kind of stop to a halt at times. It happens once in the very beginning, like the first 10 minutes. Happens again towards the middle, and then there's another time jump, I want to say towards the end. I could be wrong though. But, yeah, no, those time jumps I just felt weren't needed, and the story could have just benefited from them not being in there. I also didn't like many of the performances, really all the performances, and that sucks because I like a lot of the actors in here. Tom Hardy, who is personally one of my favorites, should have, I felt like was a home run choice to play Eddie Brock, and I felt like should have done great as Eddie Brock, and probably should have. And I thought, all right, even if this movie doesn't look that good, at least Tom Hardy looks very good. But he really didn't. I don't think he did all that great of a job. He wasn't bad by any means, but he just wasn't special. I felt like anybody could have played that part, and that's not good because, you wanna, I feel like you should feel that actor that was chosen for the role should be the only person you see as that person. Like, for example, Hugh Jackman, he's the only person I can ever see playing Venom, because, or Wolverine for that matter, because, Hugh Jackman not only played Wolverine for so long, he played Wolverine really great for so long. So that's why he's the only person. While with Tom Hardy, I could see many people playing Eddie Brock. Like, I feel like anybody really could have played him, and like there was nothing special about his performance or the character in general. Riz Ahmed was also in this movie, and I really like him. Very, very generic villain. There was no characterization about this villain, and no depth to this character and to this performance. Again, anybody could have played Riz Ahmed's part. Jenny Slate, same thing. I like her too, but she was generic. Anybody could have played her. Michelle Williams, again, same thing. Anybody could have played her. There's a romance between Eddie Brock and Michelle Williams' character. I didn't buy it at all, and I just didn't like it. They set up this romance, and it just doesn't work for me, and I just felt like it was really forced for the most part, and those it really stinks, because I like Tom Hardy a lot. I like Michelle Williams. They're both Academy Award nominated actors. And, they both have proven they can give really great performances. And there's nothing special. Anybody could have played them. And that's what really stinks. I've heard that, some people compare it to Catwoman or Fantastic Four, the 2015 version. And by no means is it as bad as those. Those are, the bottom of the barrel when it comes to superhero movies. But this isn't a good movie at all. And I'm disappointed, not because I was looking forward to this movie, because most certainly I wasn't, but I'm disappointed because I felt like this movie should have been something special, and it just ultimately wasn't, and this property deserves better. Venom deserves better, and the symbiotes deserve better, and this just property deserves better, and Sony makes this half-assed attempt to make some money, and it just falls really flat. I just really hope that if we ever get a Venom movie again or a symbiote movie again, it's done better than this, because this just is not good at all. This is a pretty bad movie. I give this movie a D. There are a few things that are good about this movie, but ultimately the negatives vastly outweigh the positives, and this movie just stinks. Now to that post-credit scene. So if you haven't seen it, I please don't watch this. I don't want me to ruin anything for you, but I do want to talk about this, so I'm giving you your times to leave now. Okay, now for the post-credit scene. Basically, the post-credit scene, if you watched it, you should know what I'm talking about. Eddie Brock goes to visit Cletus Cassidy. Now, for those who don't know who Cletus Cassidy is Carnage. And for those who don't know, I am a huge fan of Carnage. I love the character of Carnage. He is my favorite out of all the symbiotes. He's actually my favorite Marvel villain, one of my favorite Marvel characters. I love Carnage. And I really like the post-credit scene. As I said, Woody Harrelson does play the role as Cletus Cassidy. That was reported, so I wasn't surprised. And I thought that this was the best scene in the movie. Hands down. And it's a minute long. Probably even less than that. And this, while I enjoyed it a lot, this ultimately got me really upset and disappointed me, because this shows to me the potential that this movie could have had, and the shows the potential that Woody Harrelson as Carnage could have. And I don't know if we're gonna get a sequel. I really don't want a sequel because it would just feel pointless to me because this movie doesn't really deserve a sequel. And I love Carnage, and I want to see the when I see Carnage, and I've been waiting for Carnage on the screen. I want him to be used right, and I just feel like Sony wouldn't use him right, and that's what upsets me. But like I said, this like Woody Harrelson gives the best performance of this movie, and he's in it for 20 seconds, and that baffles my mind. He gives more emotion and range in this 20-second post-credit scene that anybody does in the whole entire movie, and that amazes the fuck out of me. But again, I thought it was really cool. Other than one line, he goes, "When I get out, there's gonna be carnage." I thought that was a little bit too on the nose on who he was. I mean, I feel like it was kind of really obvious who he was. For anybody that knows slightly who Cletus Cassidy was, or even follows movie news a little bit, you know Woody Harrelson was playing Carnage, and you know that Cletus Cassidy is a serial killer and a psychopath. So I feel like it was just clear enough on who he was, but then they throw out this "there's gonna be carnage" line, and I'm like, oh, that was a little cheesy, a little too on the nose for me. And I did not like that. But the rest of it was really awesome, and I really liked that. And it's still, to me, the best scene of the movie. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please be on the lookout for my next review, which should be A Star Is Born. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to reviewing that for you. Please comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that kind of fun stuff. And until next time, guys. Have a nice day.